Okay, day two. Good day out there. Really good back and forth. Offense, defense. Thought the special teams period was sharp. Just got to keep stacking these days.
What happened on, looked like maybe miscommunication on Bryce's interception?
Yeah, miscommunication on a stick route as far as turning out versus running out. So normal stuff. I mean, you don't like it, we'll get it cleaned up.
Frank, you guys campus moving around a lot of formations, different guys. I know you said you don't want to make a big deal out of like certain plays or certain things you do, but what's the mindset towards that long term and maybe even the short term?
As far as you're saying, moving personnel around?
Offensive line personnel.
Oh, yeah. No, great question. You just need depth, right? You want guys that can play multiple positions, and it's a long season, and so you really want versatility with those guys up front. More than ever before, it just seems like that comes up year in and year out. So getting the training now while we're getting a lot of reps is really important. Then once you get closer to the season, you kind of really zone in on your position.
Frank, you can keep Dante, JC healthy back there. What's that secondary?
It'd be huge, right? I mean, what we've been talking about, right? We've got to do everything we can do to keep healthy, but I think the guys are really of the right mindset. Using the downtime that we have for recovery, doing everything personally that they can to stay healthy. As a staff, we're trying to take care of guys, right? I mean, there's always that balance of, we got to practice hard. I mean, we got to get in shape. We got to play football, but you want to get to the season as healthy as you can. So that's the balance that we're looking for.
Frank, where did your philosophy or approach with tight ends in the passing game, where did you develop that?
It's just, I just think you get good matchups there. The philosophy is matchup football, and how do you get guys in good position to make plays? And so you're getting tight ends on linebackers and safeties, and there's a lot of really good linebackers and really good safeties, and some of them can cover. But from an offensive perspective, you just always think if you have even a halfway decent tight end, that's a winning matchup for the offense. So. Ball's over the middle of the field, ball's not in the air very long. There's a lot of good things about using the tight end. Then you get down in the red zone. There's just a lot of good ways to use the tight end, get him touches.
What do you learn from 7-on-7 work as opposed to one-on-one?
We're just really trying to get spacing and timing more so there, right? A lot of it's, we get in the 11-on-11 work, you get that deep play action, you get all the nakeds, all that other kind of stuff, all the RPO stuff that takes all 11 bodies on the field to get a feel. And then there's probably a category of passes that, hey, we can run these, just get clean spacing. Yeah, we're assuming we got them blocked up front, but the ball's going to come out quick, and let's see if we can just execute.
Mingo made a pretty impressive grab during 7-on-7 play. How has he kind of shown off his athleticism since you guys got him?
He's been consistent. I think that's been the biggest thing for a rookie. He has shown consistency, and he's shown, the mental aptitude to handle everything we've thrown at him, and we've thrown a lot at him. He works hard. It's important to him, so he's off to a good start.
How much flexibility does LaVisca able to play running back give you with that running back position as far as how many you might keep him?
Well, we'll see. I don't want to overdo that, but we want to give guys opportunities. We want to give guys opportunities and see what they can do. So, training camp is a great time to, work in a small percentage of that. I mean, we're going to run our core offense and the stuff that we're really going to run, but you can use a little bit of that. Hey, let's just push the limits, test the limits, see what our players can do. Give them all a chance.
What strikes you about Icky going into year two? Perhaps his leadership. What strikes you about him?
I mean, just first of all, physically a dominant player. Second of all, and this is really from Coach Campen, who obviously has spent a lot of time with him. And I can just tell in a short time that he's one of those kind of intimidating type leaders. Hey, listen, he's not afraid to talk, but it's more about how he says what he says. So he's got an intensity about him. He's a competitor, and then he backs it up with great play.
Frank, you look at this division. There's a lot of teams that have either new quarterbacks coming in or very young quarterback. Do you kind of view this division as wide open, is there for the taking for anybody?
I'm excited about the division race, and again, going back to the theme of yesterday, not going to try to predict how each team is going to be. We're trying to get ourselves ready. Obviously, we open up the season with 2 division opponents, right? So that's a big deal. So we'll be able to test ourselves in our division early, and the fact that all the quarterbacks and that deal. I mean, I just think it makes it that much more exciting. And who can take advantage of the off season and this time to get prepared to come out, in full sync.
What general measures have you and Chris Tabor taken regarding the new rule changes? No strategy, of course, but just in general, I know a lot of people think it's killing the return game. You've got some good returners on this roster. Jobs are at stake. Just a thought or two on where you stand with that and what measures you take to keep that part of the game alive.
Always looking, right, where, all the coaches, the league is about player safety. So anytime the league comes up with something that they think is going to, a reasonable way to make the game safer, we're going to buy in. We're going to follow the directions that we're given. And so Tabes and I have had a lot of discussions about the rules, about what's the unintended consequences of those rules. And so, we just kind of go, and that's one of the nice things about having someone like Tabes, very experienced, very good thinker. So I feel very confident in the discussions we've had.
On days like today where, Bryce throws the pick, Miles has to pick up a fumble, just tell me about kind of what that teaches you about the offense, seeing hiccups, mistakes, especially in this stage of training camp. What can you learn from those moments?
We're going to make mistakes. I thought today the first half of the practice, this is without watching the tape, felt crisp and sharp on both sides of the ball, on all 3 phases, really, special teams as well. And then about halfway through practice, at least on offense, where my eyes were a little bit more, it just felt like a little bit of a lull, and for a few too many turnovers and mistakes. But you don't panic, you learn from those, and you got to bounce back.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have one, Joe?
I was just going to ask, you had a transaction yesterday and then brought in a receiver. What happened with McQuarrie?
Yeah, I mean, during the conditioning test, he came to us later, said he felt this during a conditioning test, felt the foot issue during the conditioning test, but it kind of gave us a heads up on that later, so we kind of went back, didn't pass the physical, and then went from there.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.